Right, well, it's all going quiet, so I'll make an early start. So a very warm welcome to the Rural Community Business Awards of 2021. It's brilliant to see so many of you here in the same room. It's fantastic. And I think I have to say this is possibly my largest gathering that I've been to in the last 2 years. So I'm especially pleased that it's a Plunkett gathering amongst Plunkett friends and Plunkett family. And that's actually what we refer to all of our members and our partners and our funders and wider stakeholders. You are part of our family. So welcome to the awards, and also welcome to a family that you possibly didn't know you had. For those of you that have been to the awards previously and have heard me speak, you may remember this is my second favourite day of the year, but second only to the judging day, the awards judging day. And although the awards event itself is inspiring and it's heartwarming, and it can get emotional at times as well, so it's absolutely brilliant. But the judging day also has all of that. And the reason I particularly like the judging day is because the judges come together, people like me who live and breathe rural community business and love it. Yes, I'm going to be excited. But it's absolutely brilliant to see people, the judges, the sponsors, who, for them, it's not there every day. They're selling insurance or running food and drinks companies or running housing associations. But to see them get so excited about community business and get under the skin of those businesses, root through the applications and the supporting evidence and debate, and they really do debate as to which of those organisations should be the winner. And of course they're all winners, but there has to be a winner of each category. But to see that makes me feel incredibly proud to be part of what Plunkett does, what the rural community business sector does, and just to be part of the impact that all of you have in your daily activities. I should say that 3 years ago, and since 3 years, I've been banned from attending the judging day. Something to do with unwelcome comments and suggestions that I like to make, and I'm really trying to help. And I should say that all of my suggestions and comments are all very positive, so I haven't been negative about any applications. But because of that, I can now officially say the awards event is now my favourite day of the year. I'd like to say a few thank yous, and I'm not going to name all of the sponsors by name, because there are rather a lot this year, but they're also going to be introduced separately as we go through the award categories. But what I would like to say about the award sponsors is they are incredibly committed organisations to what community businesses do. We haven't just approached organisations and asked for a cheque. They're not just organisations that have given us some money. They're businesses that work with Plunkett and work directly with community businesses throughout the year. They're incredibly committed to the sector. They share your values. They understand how you operate. So I would like to ask you to look in your packs, look on the website and look at who those sponsors are and think about how you might benefit from working with some of these organisations. Lastly, I just have some introductions to do, and the first introduction is our chair, Stephen Nicol. Unfortunately, Stephen is not able to be with us this evening, and to say he was disappointed was an understatement. But he is here with us in spirit, and he will be here with us on the screen in a second.
Good afternoon, my name is Stephen Nicol, and I'm the Chair of Trustees at Plunkett. I'm really sorry that I can't be with you today in person, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining Plunkett on this special day to recognise and celebrate the outstanding achievements of community-owned businesses and the inspirational people involved in them. Every day, up and down the United Kingdom, these businesses and the people that make them happen deliver a real difference within their communities. I was fortunate enough to be part of the judging panel alongside representatives from the award sponsors back in October. The entries were exceptionally strong, showcasing all that is good about community businesses. I'd like to thank my fellow judges for the time they spent in reviewing the entries really rigorously and shedding their thoughts and insights. Now today you're going to hear some incredible stories of how communities across the United Kingdom have really lived the different elements of Plunkett's rural vision. How businesses have created more sustainable ways of operating to improve their impact on the environment. This is a crucial area, I'm sure you'll agree, at this moment in time where it's important to lead by example. How they've embraced and used technology to keep their communities connected throughout the pandemic. How businesses have really opened the doors for local people by offering invaluable employment and training experience. How they've created volunteering opportunities and supported volunteers throughout this period to bring a sense of belonging and purpose and kept their businesses going. Finally, how businesses have embodied the keep things local ethos by giving local producers a platform to showcase and then sell their goods. In addition, you'll hear stories of individuals who've truly gone above and beyond in giving their time and energy in supporting their communities, helping the most vulnerable and simply being there for their community business during some of the most difficult and challenging times we have faced. From reading all the nominations, it's clear to me just how vital community-owned businesses are to so many people and the wealth of benefits they bring, whether it's helping to address isolation and loneliness, to promote positive well-being or supporting local employment. Community businesses are more than just a pub, a shop or a woodland. They are quite simply the beating heart of their communities, and Plunkett is extremely proud to be supporting them. I wish you all a wonderful award ceremony. Congratulations once again, and a big thank you to all the nominees and sponsors. Finally, I couldn't finish without a particular thank you to Prue Leith for hosting this award ceremony. Goodbye and enjoy the rest of the day.
So thank you very much to Stephen. Second award, I'd like to invite Anne Perkins from Hastoe Housing Association to come up and say a few words. I have to say, without Hastoe Housing, we wouldn't have an awards, but very simply because Hastoe approach us every year to remind us to invite them to sponsor the awards. So thank you for doing that.
Hello and good evening. I want to start by echoing James. It's lovely to be here, to be in a room full of people, and I'm so glad that so many of you have got over your hogo, your horror of going out, in order to make it here tonight. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Anne Perkins. I'm on the board of Hastoe, the proud sponsor of today's awards. Hastoe and Plunkett, in my opinion, are a perfect match. Plunkett's the place to go for help and support setting up and running a community business. Its particular expertise is the rural economy. Hastoe helps to sustain many rural communities too by building and managing beautiful, warm and affordable homes in villages across the country, from Norfolk to Cornwall. We build homes for people with strong connections to the area. We help people with local jobs who may be on lower incomes share the pleasure and the practicalities of living in a small community, maybe the one where they grew up or where they work. And that in turn, of course, supports the local economy, the school, the shop, the pub, and the whole local community. It's not only where we at Hastoe build and manage homes, it's the kind of homes that we build. We build social housing for local people. We build homes that are specifically intended to be affordable, homes for local people that they can afford to rent or to buy through shared ownership, social and affordable in the technical jargon. And when we want to build homes, we work very closely with the people who will be our neighbours, often invited by them. We consult on the kind of homes that are needed and what they should look like. And we build homes to a high standard. We've just updated our guidelines on the quality of the homes we build and the places we try to create when we build them. We aim to have homes that are warm, easy to heat, a good place to live and to bring up a family. And never have such homes been more desperately needed. Sometimes in the past 18 months, it's felt as if half Britain's city dwellers are trying to relocate to the country. Rents and house values have rocketed. It's tougher than ever for people who do the vital jobs in the community, the care workers, the electricians, the plumbers, to find somewhere that they can afford to live. And the younger you are, the tougher it is. A survey by the CPRE, the Council for the Protection of Rural England, just last month, of 18 to 25-year-olds living in rural areas, found that more than half of them expected to move away, and 3/4 of those who thought they'd have to move said it was because they didn't think they'd be able to afford to find anywhere to live. Hastoe is passionate about changing that. And there's another reason too why I'm very pleased to be here. 10 years ago, my village decided that we really wanted and needed to revive our village shop. We had lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm, and not a clue what to do. So we turned to Plunkett. They talked us through the whole process, they talked us through the questions to ask, the choices to make, the sources of funding. They gave us connections with other community shops, they laid on training days. In short, they made it happen for us. And this year, we've been able to use our profits to help our school build and stock a new library. We've given our church the maintenance funds that it couldn't raise because of COVID, and we've helped our village hall set up an audio-visual system. Next year, we celebrate our 10th anniversary. So it's great to have the opportunity to say thank you to Plunkett. Thank you.
And thank you very much, and it's great to hear how the family works within the family. My next introduction needs no introduction at all, so please welcome Dame Prue Leith to host this evening's awards. Thank you, Prue.
Thanks, James. Right, well, welcome to the Rural Community Business Awards. There are awards for everything these days, aren't there? There's Oscars and BAFTAs, and Best Marmalade and Biggest Pumpkin. There's just hundreds and hundreds of awards. But very few, I think, are more important than the Plunkett Rural Community Business Awards. I really do. They recognise and celebrate things that really matter. Neighbourliness, enterprise, working together, local employment, sociability. In 2019, I opened our little Bledington community shop. And to be honest, I didn't think it would work. But it has been a catalyst for all sorts of great things. It's a shop, yes, very useful too for providing essential goods and local delicacies. But more importantly, it has become the sort of village pump where local people meet and gossip and talk. It brings together volunteers and gives people employment and purpose, and it provides an outlet for local produce. Sometimes farmers or small producers only produce a little stuff, not enough for a big supermarket, not enough certainly for a chain, but it is enough. If it's just jam or, a few artichokes or whatever, and I think it's wonderful. And of course it provides a local outlet for all sorts of local produce. Other such enterprises all over the country have sprung up, and it's been wonderful to see them do it. And they would not be there if it was not for the energy and the determination of a very few committed folk in each one of them. Post offices have been saved, village halls revived to host events and talks, discos and kids clubs and all sorts of things. They've often been the absolute lifeblood of a community. And today's finalists are true entrepreneurs and absolute heroes. And these awards salute them all. So, let's get to it. Shall we do the awards? Good. Right, tonight's first award seeks to find community businesses who have demonstrated outstanding practice in supporting local employment and training. Across rural areas, employment and training opportunities are really sparse, with many people having to rely on long commutes to reach jobs. But for many people, these commutes aren't possible. The Rural Vision Employment and Training Award will showcase how community businesses are playing their part in creating local employment and training among rural populations. Presenting the Employment and Training Awards is Michelle Davidson, is she here? From award sponsor, the Retail Mutual. We need her.
Thanks, Prue. I believe there are representatives of all of our finalists in the room. So I'm going to run through our finalists with a brief description and then announce the winner. So Caversfall Community Society of the Auctioneer Arms. Since taking ownership of the Auctioneer Arms in 2018, a number of young local people have been recruited and trained to work in the pub. The volunteers and managers' commitment to these young people's development has supported them to progress from being glass collectors to completing apprenticeships with distinction. This has enabled them to develop life skills, social skills and academic qualifications to help them with their future careers. The Milland Community Shop. Where Milland Community Shop saw many volunteers having to step back and shield themselves during the pandemic, they came up with an innovative way of addressing their staffing challenges. A scheme was developed to offer past Duke of Edinburgh volunteers paid work in the shop and cafe. The enthusiastic group of 8 youngsters have received barista training as part of a dedicated training programme developed by the Milland shop managers. Not only that, Milland have also supported local people to make and sell products in the shop, creating viable local businesses and helping fundraising efforts. And finally, we have Brown Rock Woodland CIC. The team at Brown Rock Woodland saw the combined challenges of COVID and climate change, fueling the need for a new approach to nature conservation and health. They encourage people to actively participate by training in the care of their own health whilst helping nature flourish by providing training programmes taught in the great outdoors. As well as their weekly woodland sessions for 14 to 16-year-olds, the team developed a woodland study programme for older teenagers providing culture, conservation and wellbeing qualifications, as well as outreach coaching in schools and the community. And now on to the winner. And the winner is Brown Rock Woodland CIC.
Good evening.
Right, now we go to the Rural Vision Environment Award. Overview. The overview, I think that just means for me, doesn't it? Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. The Rural Vision Environment Award celebrates community businesses who are going above and beyond to ensure a greener approach to business, whether that's through introducing more sustainable operating practices or engaging and encouraging their communities to play their part in lessening our impact on the planet. To present this award, please welcome Nigel Kay via video link and the response from the sponsor, Suma Whole Foods.
Good evening. My name's Nigel from Suma Whole Foods. I hope you're all having a good evening. I'm here to present the Rural Community Award for the Environment. At Suma, we're a workers' cooperative. We're vegetarian wholesalers. And part of our strategy moving forward, as well as being a cooperative, we're very big in terms of being socially aware and sustainability. So this is what is quite close to our hearts. And one of the major challenges we have is with our packaging. And quite a few of the year's awards, not only just sustainability, but have looked at ways of doing the packaging, recycling and things like that, which is close to us. Now, a little bit about Suma is, we're a wholesalers, so we do provide some foods and supplies for quite a few of the community shops around the country and some of the pubs. But the new unique thing about Suma is we're a true workers' cooperative. Everybody has a vote at the company and we're all on equal pay as well, which makes us a very unique company indeed. This is our 6th year with Plunkett and we really enjoy working and being part of the awards because it's a great fit between ourselves and a lot of the community shops. So we work with the same ideals and the same ideas. So on with the finalists for this environmental awards. And the first finalist is Sandford Talking Shop. Now, they got noted for their application, and despite all the challenges that we've had throughout the last 18 months, we all know about them, they've remained very strong to their environmental footprint. That was still at the heart of everything that they did to help the community. So such things around working closer with the local food producers, so therefore cutting down on the mileage in terms of where the products came from, was a great starting point for them, and it really sort of honed where they actually got the supplies from. Secondly, they did a lot of their own growing and encouraged the people within the area to grow their own fruit and veg and bring it on, and they have also got a patch there that they grow their own herbs, flowers, fruit and veg to actually sell in the shop and also to use in the cafe. So again, becoming self-sufficient that way. And we all heard about deliveries going out to a lot of people. Now at Sandford, they worked on a walk-in shop, so therefore a lot of their things were actually delivered via walking groups, so again cutting down on mileage. So you can see they're very keen on ensuring that sustainability and the environment is looked after. So much so that a lot of the food waste that they get that they can use, they'll use in soups and things in the cafe, but if not, they'll actually take them away to be sort of recycled elsewhere, in terms of which, so nothing goes to waste, any food surplus. They're also, in terms of green energy, they do all they can to get their energy as green as they can, and they're also encouraging refills and recycling. So they're sending in terms of getting their recycling from customers for them to actually do it for all the customers. But again, the refills, which is very big for Sumer as well. We've gone quite big into that market. But also it really extends to no chemicals in the garden, where they grow the herbs and things. They've even started to use the eggshells and just stay vigilant in terms of keeping slugs and things away without using chemicals to damage the environment. So lots of things going there from Sandford Talking Shop in terms of how they're helping the environment. The second finalist, Phoenix Finnarn Community Interest Group, they're actually a wind farm to start with, so therefore a lot of their power things come from their wind farm. But it doesn't stop there for there. It's at the heart of the business. Not only do they produce the wind farm for the energy, they're very much about working with the locals and trying to change the habits of the locals. And they did a big thing, again, going back to what Sumer was trying to do in terms of the refill packaging, in terms of getting people to use bulk liquid dispensers. And we've seen a big growth in this around the country, so it's pleasing that other people are taking it on, in terms of people bringing their own packaging to be refilled. And they feel that in that short space of time they've been doing it, over 85 kilograms of plastic containers have stopped going to waste because they're being reused, which is really, really good. They also offer a service where they will take any recyclable products that customers find hard to recycle. Some are hard plastics that you can't get rid of on curbside. They're not good for refilling. They will take it, and they will look at ways of recycling those hard plastics on behalf of the customers. So again, a great way to sort of push the environment and bring the locals into the thought process, and really helping the community to make it.
It looks at community businesses who've made shopping local an integral part of their businesses. COVID has highlighted, if anything, that there's been a wealth of talent and produce from small producers producing anything from locally made preserves and cakes to locally reared meat and vegetables. All over the UK, community businesses have been demonstrating how they are embracing local produce within their business operations. And to present this award on behalf of award sponsor Co-op is Edward Powell.
Thank you so much. The Co-op is really proud to continue our support of the Plunkett Foundation, as we've done for many, many years now. It's really important that we have great local shops. There are areas that people like the Co-op can't reach, and actually supply chains that we've talked about here, where you are the champions and we can learn from you. And part of our values and principles is cooperation amongst cooperatives, and that extends to community businesses. So instead of talking about competition, talk about cooperation and try and work out how we can support you as local community shops. I'd like to say congratulations to all of the finalists. The first finalist is Bleddington Community Shop. Local produce is at the heart of Bleddington Community Shop ethos, and it's not just an intention, it's a reality. Over half of the shop sales come from products sourced within 12 miles. When COVID hit just 4 months after the shop started trading, the relationships with local suppliers meant Bleddington avoided much of the stock chaos experienced by other retailers. I can vouch that that is true. Close work with the local flour mill meant they never had empty shelves. Support of a local baker has seen daily sourdough deliveries become a real hit. Vegetables are sourced so locally that cauliflowers are still damp from the fields upon delivery. And a partnership with a local coffee roastery has led to strong sales and a very positive local following. The second finalist is Coddenham Community Shop. When COVID struck and older volunteers had to step back from shop duties to shield, Coddenham volunteer numbers went from over 50 to just 18. The reduced team felt somewhat forgotten by larger wholesalers struggling to replenish even the biggest customers. So a shift to local first was not only preferable, but it was essential. The Coddenham team found a local organic flour supplier, a decent nearby fruit and veg grower, jams and chutneys from the next village, honey from Mr. Honeyman 5 miles away, that's my favourite bit to read out, local wine, beer, crafts and gifts, plus the source of spectacular tomatoes grown 3 miles away by a low environmental impact supplier. The partnerships with these talented local producers and rural entrepreneurs has transformed the Coddenham range proposition. And the third finalist is Cleator. I hope I've said that correctly. The team at Cleator say they know they cannot stop global warming on their own, but they have actively tried to minimise their impact by sourcing as locally as possible. And their efforts have led to them dealing with an impressive 70 local suppliers within a 15-mile radius. Despite the extra workload involved, this local sourcing philosophy is at the heart of the Cleator shop and cafe and supports the livelihood of many local people. Among the varied local suppliers, Cleator works directly with 9 local farmers on fields to shop meat, eggs and veg, and also give local artists and craftspeople a platform to show their work through giving exhibition space in their cafe. I have a golden envelope. So, the winner of the Rural Vision Relocalisation of Produce Award is Cleator. Just going to bring the other finalists up as well. So if we could have Bleddington Community Shop.
Well done.
And then finally Coddenham. Thank you.
I didn't ask the 2 finalists from the previous ones to come up, but I really would like them to do that, just so we can give you certificates. tell you what their names are in a minute. Actually, I'm slightly baffled because I don't think I can say them right. Coed Tally Lamb, is that right? Can you come up here, please? And the other one isn't here anyway, Phoenix Findhorn, we ought to remember that. They didn't come. Right. Now I'm completely lost. Where are we? What number are we on? On
the technology.
Technology,
yeah.
Right. I'll find it. I'm not very good at technology, but this is not technology. Right, technology. This is the Rural Vision Technology Award, and it has been an absolute lifeline to so many over the last year. And now we're going to hear about community businesses who have utilised digital technology to ensure their communities remain connected, helping to reduce isolation and loneliness, whilst also helping to diversify their business services. To tell us more about the Rural Vision Technology Award, finalists and tell us who the finalists are and announce the winner, please welcome David Garner, by video link, from award sponsor Adnan Southwood.
Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Garner. I'm the head of IT at Adams PLC. We are distinctive brewers, distillers, wine merchants, retailers, publicans and hoteliers, and we craft award-winning and well-loved premium beers, spirits and wines. We've been excited to sponsor the Rural Vision Technology Award this year because we always play a part in our community and we believe technology can help communities get the best from one another. I'm delighted to announce the finalists that we have this year. The first finalist is Itteringham Community Shop. Itteringham Community Shop had some trouble at the start of the pandemic to ensure compliance with social distancing within the shop. So in true Blue Peter style, they created a home-built traffic light system. They made this available to other stores, and it was a big hit in their own store, keeping people safe while they shopped. Our second finalist this year was a pub called the Exelby Green Dragon. The Exelby Green Dragon used technology to connect people by setting up a techno hub in the pub to support local home workers and the wider community. This tech hub in the pub can accommodate groups of up to 30, allowing socially distanced meetings, and connects people and clubs in the village, both locally and overseas. The third finalist is another shop called the Mayhill Hub. At the start of the pandemic, the Mayhill Hub identified that the community had limited local access to fresh produce, and they responded by creating a delivery round to provide that produce. The Mayhill Hub stepped in and from a standing start created an online click and collect service using the village hall as their base. The service has become so successful that they're now working to establish a permanent click and collect shop in the local village church. All of our finalists this year have made a tremendous contribution to their community through the means of technology, but I'm delighted to have the opportunity to announce that the winner of the Rural Vision Technology Award for 2021 is the Mayhill Hub. Congratulations to everybody who takes part in the Mayhill Hub.
So our fifth award is the Rural Vision Award for Volunteering Award, and for this category we will be recognising and celebrating the incredible efforts that community businesses make to provide volunteering opportunities for their local communities, as well as seeing how these opportunities have helped to, in some cases, transform businesses, as well as helping them to continue to thrive. To present the volunteering awards is David Alcock from the award sponsor, Anthony Collins Solicitors. David.
Good evening, everybody. So my name is David Alcock, and I'm from Anthony Collins Solicitors. You'll gather I'm a lawyer, but I'm not all bad. We work with co-ops and community organisations of all kinds, and we've been supporting Plunkett over a number of years. This is the first year that we've been associated with the awards, and we're really proud to be involved in this way. In particular, I'm really pleased that we're sponsoring the Volunteering Award. Volunteers are the backbone of so many community organisations, and I continue to be amazed and impressed at the contribution that ordinary people make day in, day out, giving to and sustaining their local communities. So I take my hat off to all of you who are involved in that capacity in this room. Well done and thank you. So our three finalists are, first of all, Barham Village Store. So of these 67 volunteers at Barham, only 10 were not in the shielding category at the start of the pandemic, and a skeleton team of just 4 community members were able to be present in the shop. So alongside the challenges of obtaining stock and shielding customers, the team had to come up with a new plan, and in record time, 25 new volunteers were recruited. They were furloughed workers, they were students, they were early retirees, they sought alternative suppliers, they minimised the impact of stock shortages, and introduced extra services like telephone ordering and payment, and increased newspaper deliveries. So well done to Barham. Our second finalist is Clapham Village Store, and if a lockdown could be measured in units of determination and positivity in the face of adversity, then the Clapham volunteers would score really highly. The crisis prompted teamwork, creativity and determination. Students unexpectedly at home because of lockdown were brought in to cover volunteer absences. A home delivery service was implemented, and a Christmas hamper brochure was created for home delivered products, along with personal shopping evenings where vulnerable customers could shop after hours to make sure they stayed safe. And they also looked after their volunteers with newsletters, quizzes and a careful back-to-work plan for those who've been shielding. And our final finalist is Stoke Ferry Community Enterprise. So the Stoke Ferry team numbers 69 local volunteers with a range of skills from gardeners to interior designers, event organisers to electricians. And those are all very useful skills when you are coming together to buy and refurbish the last local pub in the village. From the very outset of the campaign to save the pub, the enthusiasm of volunteers has been maintained through 2 years of a global pandemic, difficult and challenging negotiations with property owners, 2 planning applications, 1 planning appeal, 2 assets community value applications and an auction. And the team has also enlisted the help of local corporate volunteers and committed to be involved in supporting volunteer recruitment as part of National Volunteer Week. So 3 really impressive finalists. So, the winner of the Rural Community Business Awards Volunteering Award this year is Stoke Ferry Community Enterprise. And I think that both Barham and Clapham Village Store are also in the room, so we have certificates for them to come and get, please. Let's give them a hand as well.
The next award is the Community Contribution Award. It's the first of tonight's awards that recognise the inspiring dedication and commitment of individuals involved with community-owned businesses who continually go above and beyond in order to support the businesses as well as the people it serves. Joining us on stage to announce the finalists and winner is Josie Codwallada Thornwill. Is that right?
That's very close.
But not close enough.
this. I think my parents just gave me that name to be difficult. They can work closely with the Plunkett Foundation because it takes more than bricks and mortar to build a community and bring people together. So through the creation of a new community business at our Woodgate development, I've been fortunate to see the benefits of what the Plunkett Foundation do firsthand, which is why it's such an honour to be able to do this today. So going through our finalists, the first finalist we have is Vera Wright. When COVID struck, 83-year-old Vera wasted no time in stepping up to support her local community shop in the village of Down Antley. Already a valued member of the community team at the shop, Vera altered her hours to start in the early hours of the morning, sometimes working through the afternoon in order to take on the load of organising newspaper deliveries and sales, meaning the shop could continue its biggest line of revenue, whilst also providing an essential service to all of the local residents. Since lockdown, Vera has been instrumental in coordinating procedures to ensure a more efficient way of operating, transforming how the shop now operates for the better. Our second finalist is Karen Loftus. Karen has been a dedicated member of staff at the Bury Narber Community Shop and Post Office for nearly 9 years, but it was her outstanding efforts over the last 18 months that made her shine for the Community Contribution Award. As well as initiating and setting up a volunteer-led service which supported community residents who were shielding to continue accessing their groceries and essentials, Karen single-handedly saved the shop from having to close when it was plagued with power outages during lockdown. Thanks to Karen's quick thinking to install a monitor in her own home that alerted her as to when the power went off, Karen was able to get to the shop to reset things, saving the potential loss of the huge and expensive amount of stock in the freezers. And finally, our last finalist is Simon Atkin. Unlike other villages in the area, Cullingworth has never received any financial support or resources for the youth of the village. Simon Atkin, who lives in Cullingworth, approached the village hall requesting its help to start a youth cafe. From an absolute standing start, Simon has achieved so much. Since opening in 2020, the youth cafe has gained over 80 young members and is continuing to provide them with a broad range of activities, from martial arts, yoga and gardening to tennis and first aid, that help develop their skills and their confidence. Simon's effort has had an enormous impact on the local community, especially the young people in the area. He's a fantastic role model to the young people that the cafe supports. And the winner is, for the Community Contribution Award, is Karen Loftus from the Bury Narber Community Enterprise.
Do you want to have the runners-up too?
Yes.
Yes, please. Could we have the runners-up?
Vera?
We're on to our last award, which is the Young Person Award. I'm delighted that this award is to celebrate the often unsung heroes of community businesses, the younger generation. Young people play an integral part in their community businesses. They are, after all, the next generation to lead and create more community enterprises. So please welcome, and I'm not sure how to say this, but I'll have a go, Shabana Farouk. Is that right? Is that more or less right? Shabana is from the Abri group.
Yes.
And she'll tell us about the 3 finalists and who's won it.
Yes. So I'm Shabana from Abri. At Abri, we're more than just a housing provider. We exist to create thriving communities and empower lives. It's our central mission and one we fully believe in. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Young Persons Award. All 3 finalists are shining examples of the integral work young people are doing in rural communities. We've seen firsthand how young people have played an important part in their community, especially over the last 18 months, and the impact of the pandemic, so we want to congratulate every single one of them for their hard work and dedication. So the 3 finalists are Georgia Ball, but she's not in the hall today, so she'll be logged on online watching, for Bleddington Community Shop. Now aged 17, Georgia lowered the average age of Bleddington Shop volunteers substantially when she joined the team as part of her Duke of Edinburgh Award. Long after completion of her Duke of Edinburgh commitment, she has been one of the most active volunteers at Bleddington over the past year, squeezing in her shop hours between working for her A-levels. Georgia has cheerfully covered weekend mornings, a particularly busy time for the shop and cafe, so has learnt everything from barista skills to cashing up. She also inducted new volunteers and shown her retail skills by reorganising shelves to increase sales. Georgia was invaluable during lockdown, willingly taking on extra shifts and packing and delivering food boxes for shielding customers. The next finalist is Toby Carlton for Never Say Die Community Pub. The ageing population that 15-year-old Toby serves at the Never Say Die Community Pub and Hub have fallen in love with him. He's an incredibly hard-working and kind volunteer, always willing to help either by doing gardens for free, stacking the shelves for the food bank, or repairing mobility scooters alongside a local mechanic friend. All this whilst being happy to stop for a chat and making people feel at ease in tricky situations. In the pub, Toby is described as a tornado, whizzing around doing multiple jobs and even singing karaoke songs requested by locals. He always works his hardest to support people who need help most, and the Never Say Die team are proud to have such a jovial and willing volunteering with them. The 3rd finalist is Catherine Gycob, sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, for Semley Village Stores. Catherine started volunteering at Semley Village Stores 4 years ago, aged 13, as part of her Duke of Edinburgh Award. Through regular volunteering alongside the Semley store manager, she has since progressed through the bronze, silver and gold awards, accumulating skills and detailed shop knowledge along the way. Catherine has continued volunteering since completing her Duke of Edinburgh Award and now juggles her shop hours with studying for her A-levels. She is reliable, capable, independent and happy to show initiative. The shop manager feels Catherine deserves particular recognition for guts, bravery, determination and perseverance, and is very grateful for her continued support. So, the winner of the Young Person Award goes to Toby Carlton.
James, I think we need you.
Well, I think Toby got off very lightly there without a karaoke request, so maybe later. So I'd just like to say thank you very much to Prue. You've done a fantastic job, so thank you very much. Thank you to all of the entries this evening. As I said, everybody is a winner. And of course, thank you very much to the sponsors. But I would just like to say again a particular thank you to Prue, and as a recognition of what you've done this evening for us.
Oh my goodness!
Just coming over with a little gift. And so thank you.